everyone. It's been a while since we've done any videos or anything on our YouTube. We've realised that we've released that one video and that has been all. Today I am going to be talking about how I got my dysphoria diagnosis, which I went privately for. So everything that I say is like my own personal experience, and the people that I dealt with is my views on them and how they treated me throughout kind of the whole process. I'm going to be completely transparent about time frames when I was booking appointments and how much they cost me at the time, just so that gives you guys kind of an idea of how things were, but it wasn't that long ago. It was 2019, 2020. The costs that I'm also going to speak through are just the cost for the appointments and surgeries alone, and not to do with any travel or hotel stays and fuel, because that will obviously vary person to person. How did I get a dysphoria diagnosis? As I mentioned, I went private for the whole kind of top surgery process, but I knew that I had to get the diagnosis. So I did some research on gender clinics that are private around the UK, and I have a friend who's trans and he went with Vicki Pasterski. Vicki from London Transgender Clinic or Harley Street Gender Clinic kind of works out of both at the time. He kind of gave a good recommendation and thoughts and feelings on her, so I thought, why not? It's going to be easier to go by a recommendation than it is to kind of try and hunt somebody else out myself. So at the time that I booked my first initial appointment with her, it is May 2019. I log onto Harley Street Gender Clinic's website, and on there was an online booking system where I could book appointments without having to speak to anybody, which is great. I booked this appointment in May for July 2019, so that's like a 2-month wait time. This first appointment in July 2019 was £385-ish. So we head up to London and I'm called into the room. Rosie comes with me because she's the best, but Rosie stays in the waiting room at the time. Vicki and I talk extensively about certain things, which are upbringing and childhood, family relationships, romantic relationships, when did I know that I was trans, what steps have I already taken in my transition, did I know that being non-binary meant I would probably never be gendered correctly just because of the world that we live in, although I do think that is changing quite drastically. What do I want from the appointment? Have I had any trauma in my life and any mental health issues? When we're talking about my relationships and my support systems and my support network around me, I mentioned that Rosie has obviously been incredible, and that she was actually with me, and Vicki suggested that if Rosie was comfortable to come up and also be involved in the discussion that we were having. And I found this really nice because it meant that there was another perspective, and so it wasn't me just kind of being like, Vicki, please believe me, and it was kind of Rosie's views on how I've kind of changed and developed into the person that I was at the time. Because I mentioned that I have mental health issues, Vicki suggested that I go through a short course of therapy, and so I said yes, I'll do the therapy, do the thing. I knew that if I said no or resisted at that moment in time, it would have set me back, and also if I did do it, which I did, in my mind I knew it was kind of hoop jumping. So this cost £60 per session with a recommended therapist from Vicki. My time was then up with her after the 90 minutes, and we promptly left but booked in another appointment for December 2019. We again head up to London and finish the initial assessment. At this point I'd already mentioned to Vicki that my chosen surgeon was Miles Berry. She mentioned to me that she had already done many referrals for top surgery for Miles Berry, which kind of put me at ease knowing that he would accept my referral and my diagnosis. This appointment in December was £175 for 1 hour. After this appointment, She wanted to have a follow-up call, I guess, with me after my final therapy session. So I had 6 sessions in total, £60, which was £360 for all of those sessions. So we booked in for another assessment chat thing for £175 again in January. This was pretty short and sweet. She went through my letter, my referral, my diagnosis, and if there was anything that I felt uncomfortable with or that I wanted her to change. The total for all of these appointments, including my diagnosis letter and any amends that I wanted doing, was... Editing Arlo here. I realised I cannot do maths. I forgot to add in therapy, so I originally said £700 and something, but the total cost was £1,095, if my maths is correct. Tune in next time for part 2 on how I got top surgery. Yeah! This first appointment in July